sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the ASAP Afternoon Blitz, Wednesday, July 12th, 2023. I'm Gonzo, joined by Mike Hughes. How's it going, Mike?
I'm doing okay, man. Multitasking right now. We're doing the All Sports, All Plays afternoon show, watching the Liberty game, watching the Sky game. They both started at the same time, so I'm losing my mind. But, yeah, I'm doing okay.
And also joined by Rob Scott. How's it going, Rob?
What's up, my boy Gonzo? Hey, I don't know what it is. I think this is my first time really paying attention to our intro. Hey, the baseball players was getting it in, wasn't they? He knocked the mouth guard out there. He knocked the mouth guard out there, man.
You have baseball players fight, and you have John Moran on there. So it goes together pretty good.
We should have the new John Moran intro.
Yeah, the new one go like, oh, blah, bang, bang.
I swear to God. Benito start playing. It's crazy.
Hey, speaking of fighting, before we get into stuff, you see Tyson Fury supposed to be fighting Ngannou?
I did see that.
UFC.
Did you see Mark Zuckerberg looking swole as hell?
Hey, Mark Zuckerberg.
I think he's gonna get his ass whipped by Musk.
Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. He's supposed to be fighting Elon Musk?
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
You lie. Hey, he gonna pull out a gadget or something. He gonna disappear.
Oh, he cheating for sure. He gonna throw sand. Fireball, fireball, fireball. Hey, make sure you leave a motherfucking fireball.
Oh, shit.
There's something wrong with Mike, man. I swear to God.
I got the owners of ASAP calling me, bro. We need more fucking fireballs in the chat. Add a motherfucking fireball. If you in the chat right now, there's 2 people watching this, 5 likes. Don't know how that happened. But you in this mug and you in here like swimwear, leave a motherfucking fireball.
He just sounded like
hey, Gonzo, I'll make you a deal. Gonzo, you ready for this? You ready for this, Gonzo? Check me out. You see my hair? Hey, if I get 30 fireballs in the chat, I'll cut my hair and I'll cut this shit. But if not, I'm going to keep rocking out like a silly little white boy.
It look like you trying to grow the John Wick.
Man, it's happening like that, right? Well, I got pink eye, so I couldn't get my hair cut last week. So I've been in the crib.
Might as well keep it, bro. Dread it up.
Rob. Bro, I want dreads so bad, bro. I would kill dreads, bro. You know this.
I got a couple of wigs for you.
Nah. It's gotta be real. I'm down. You know the Ja Morant way when Ja used to have them baby dreads and they were so ugly. They were so just horrible. You gotta go through those growing pains. You know what I mean?
Go through that phase. It was just like me growing a beard.
Yeah,
I was out here looking like a rough man.
Oh yeah, you go through that phase where it's rough as hell. It looks rough as hell.
Everyone in school be clowning you and shit. You'd be like, nah, but watch this. Watch what happens. Then one day you just look like Gonzo, Duck Dynasty, when he first came on the network.
I could get you the Jimmy Butler, get you the dread extensions.
Oh no, that was ugly, bro. But you know what? You know what made me mad about that? They actually used that the entire season for every playoff picture, for everything. Jimmy had the dreads. I said, what an asshole.
Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Saw Brandon Miller had a pretty good game last night for
Hey,
the Hornets.
hey, let me tell you something. Brandon Miller, he looked okay, but that boy, what's his name? Shaden Sharp.
Yeah, he's
He
different.
wanted them. He wanted them. Him and the other kid from Charlotte was going at it.
Night.
Yeah, boy, when he hit that boy with that spin move and hit that float, I was like, oh,
Book
Summer
Knight's a
League is
dog.
cracking.
Book Knight's a dog for sure. I
He's
think Book
a
Knight could be more valuable than LaMelo at some point.
Hey, he looked like because he you can tell, bro. Like
He a
what?
second year guy.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. But one thing I look for players. I don't just look for skill. I look for mentality. And when the game started getting closer, you can tell who wanted the ball. You know, it was Book Knight for Charlotte. It was Shaden Sharp for Houston, and I mean, these guys were going at it. He was like, "Okay, anything you can do, I can do better." I mean, that was probably one of the most exciting summer league games I've seen in a while.
Most definitely.
I was into it. Like I was watching it again this morning before I left out for work uh, on
Did
NBA TV. I was like, man, these dudes was going at it.
Scoop play?
I don't think so.
I think
He's on it?
they've
If he
knocked
did,
out the majority of the starters.
yeah.
Like
If I say
Victor's not playing either, and like a lot of the big name guys aren't playing. Now Brandon
which
Miller,
I think is stupid.
I understand it for Victor.
I don't understand it though, especially with him coming from overseas.
Yeah, I think he needs all
You want him to
the
get as
playing time he can get.
acclimated to our game as fast as he can. Because Chris Broussard brought up a good point. I was watching uh the show with him and Nick Wright and Kevin Wiles, and what he said was true. It was like, the game is so fast that's why he can't handle the ball, because in France he's used to just trotting up the court, but over here the game is like 10 times, 20 times faster. Everybody's always running. So I think you want him to play as much as possible. That's just me though, bro.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I just think at the end of the day, the way I see it, and the way, like, from my perspective, I would rather him just be training with the team, rather him get reps that way than tear his ACL or break his ankle or something like that in a summer league game. You know what I mean? Like, guys out here in summer league are going out of their way to try to make a statement, going out of their way to try to make a roster spot. And it would be a shame if a guy who isn't even going to be in the league is the reason why the number one overall pick gets injured. Like we saw that with Chet last year. Chet got injured before the season even started. And that was
But
something.
that's before the season. Like, but even with that, I get that. But I feel like if you're gonna tell your ace, that's gonna happen. Like a lot of people like to say, "Oh man, why did Tom Thibodeau have Derrick Rose out there so long?
Right. It was going to happen no
He
matter
was
what.
beating Philly." It's like, dude, something like that. That's ACL. That don't come from being out on the court too long. That means something has been wrong and you haven't checked on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I see I see Mike's point too, because I agree with you, Rob. I think he should be playing because he needs the experience, but also Mike does have a point. You're playing against guys now that it's not really what an NBA game is going to feel like. So getting that playing time early in the season might be more beneficial than the playing time now in the summer league, just because a lot of these guys you're playing against in the summer league you won't see in the NBA this year in the regular season.
I think, like, too, like, to Rob's point, I would love to see Victor hooping again, but I would like it to be in the preseason. You know what I mean? Like, in the preseason, you have rosters that guys who understand the game, guys that more times than not are playing the game the right way. Guys like this, and it's no disrespect, but a lot of these guys are 18-year-old kids who are just trying to make a statement, trying to make a name for themselves. And Victor has a target on his back. Rob and I talked about it yesterday when we were on the show here, and we talked about how he just got bullied for 30 minutes a game, getting the shit knocked out of him. And where I understand Rob's point of you gotta outwork that, it would also be a shame if we never even got to get to that point because you got your ACL blown out in a summer league game.
Yep. Yeah. I agree. I think I agree with what you're saying. I think preseason would be more beneficial.
Yeah, I just don't want I just think about the presidents that you said, and you don't want these guys to start getting used to or think that they're gonna get to the NBA team and load manage.
Right.
You kind of want these guys to know, hey, look, you got uh, uh, young legs, and we gonna want you to run the shit out of them, with them young legs. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't want these guys to think they can come in the league like Zion Williamson and
Yeah,
and
or thinking you
not
getting LeBron
not try to
treatment
stay
and you
healthy
ain't
and
even.
not put enough into getting in shape.
I just talked about Zion this morning, bro. I genuinely hate Zion Williamson. I really do. Like, I don't like him as a person. I don't like him.
Mariah don't hate him.
Man, I can see that. I can see that. I might actually get to see it real soon because I heard those tapes are leaking. But I think
Wow.
at the end of the day, I hear the way Zion speaks, and he speaks like he's a 10-year vet who's has a Hall of Fame career. And I'm like, bro, you have missed over 60% of the games you were supposed to be in. I did the math. You missed over 60% of the games you're supposed to play in your NBA career in the
Yeah.
first 4 years. And you're sitting here talking like you're the next Michael Jordan. Bro, you dunk, and that's cool. And sure, you average 25 points in the 20 games you play a year, but fuck, if I go out there and I score 20 points once, then I'm averaging 20 points a game. Like, there's no longevity with Zion Williamson. And I hate hearing him talk. And this is just my little rant on it. Like, I can't stand him. I respect Ja more than I respect Zion Williamson because at least Ja is there and Ja is available. He obviously has his off the court issues, but Zion's an on the court and off the court issue. Like, the man, oh yeah, it's not my diet, bro. It's just the way I train. No, bro, it's your fucking diet. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, everything about you and everything the way you move is stupid.
Yeah, he too swole.
It's his diet. It's the way he trains.
He
It's
got, he got,
He
he look
doesn't.
it's a
like he got,
combination of everything. He don't put enough focus on what he needs to do to be on the court. He got paid. But that's the problem. He's already been paid. He's already made a lot of money.
yeah.
I don't think he really cares if he plays anymore.
He was.
That's the look he gives from the outside. That's how it feels.
He was the one guy from that class that got paid that I felt like shouldn't have got paid. Like, I understand why you paid him because of what he can be, but based
he's a
on
freak athlete, but it's talent only gets you so far. Sooner or later, you have to put the work in. And Chris, what you just said was the key word, brother. Focus. He has no focus. Like Kobe Bryant right now is rolling over in his grave looking at these young players right now. Because what they fail to realize is, and me and Mike was kind of talking about this earlier on an earlier phone conversation. These dudes have the greatest opportunity in the world. Like, I'm sitting up here at a job I don't like. You know what I mean? I work my 9 to 5 in hopes of one day pursuing my dream. These guys made it. You made it. You get to play a game that you love and make millions of dollars. The least you can do is focus and show up. That's all. Think about like what Kobe said. Like, they asked this man. We know Kobe went through a multitude of injuries during his tenure as an NBA player. We saw time and time again Kobe show up, whether it was him popping his finger back into place on the sideline, the man shooting with his left hand because his right arm ain't working. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and they ask, why do you kill yourself like that? Because he thinks it about the fan that paid all his money, that probably never gets a chance to go to Lakers game, that finally made it and get to see their favorite player play, and you get there and he's on the bench in street clothes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like these guys forget who makes them rich. It's not just the NBA. You're getting this type of money because you put asses in seats. People
Oh
gonna
yeah.
stop coming if you ain't playing.
People stop coming, then that money's not going to be there.
I just hate it, bro. Like Mike said, like I feel like Zion got so much upside, but he's starting to make me dislike him as well. Cause it's like like Mike said, you in here talking like you done did something. You ain't done nothing. But you had a couple of oohs and ahs when you dunked. Like, come on, bro. Like, you need to be back. You need to be your goal. Shouldn't he be trying to leave New Orleans? Your goal is to say, I'm gonna take us to the promised land. I'm gonna take this New Orleans team and I'm gonna take them higher than Anthony Davis ever did.
Nah, and you know, the thing that upset me the most, health is wealth in 2023. I believe that. But when you're cleared to play and your team is fighting in the playoffs and they fought all season long to get to where they are, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Jonas Valanciunas, all these guys doing the do, like going out there and putting up a fight. And you're cleared to play and you tell your teammates that the number 1 overall pick, the guy who just got paid a max deal with a fat ass Michael Jordan, Air Jordan sneaker deal, said, I don't think I want to play because I just don't feel like Zion. I'm sure that 60% of the time Kobe Bryant would wake up at 3 a.m. and he didn't feel like Kobe Bryant. But you go out there and you fucking do it because that's what makes you a great player. And I think that's not even just a Kobe thing. Like that's an athlete thing, bro. Like
that's a person thing.
Right.
Everybody wakes up in the morning and some mornings you don't feel like Mike Hughes. I don't feel like Rob Scott. He don't feel like Chris Gonzo. We wake up in the morning. Sometimes you even question what is this thing called? Like, you know what I mean? But all you have to do is show up.
Like, how many mornings you wake up and like, fuck work today? I don't want to go to this job.
Right.
This morning.
Even being completely honest, like I love working in the WNBA, right? It's some of my favorite things to do, and I'm about to leave in a few minutes because I'll be back. I will be back. So if I come back and y'all ain't here, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna send a bunch of fireballs in the chat. But I think something that I even have a moment with when I worked at Wrigley Field. Like I'd work from 4 a.m. to 12, and then there'd be a 3:00 game at Wintrust Arena, and I'd have to go all the way home from Wrigley Field, go all the way back to my crib, change, go all the way back downtown. And mind you, we're not getting paid for it. I'm just interviewing players because I love to do it. And I could stay at the crib. I could be like, nah, fuck that. I already worked today. But if you want to go that extra step, if you want to be, and not to say I am one of them, I'm just saying, if you want to be on that path of stepping in the same feet as the great ones, you got to put in that work. And Zion thinks you can just dunk your way into the Hall of Fame. That's not going to be the case, bro. Like that's especially when you have teams potentially making the Western Conference Finals and you're healthy, but you don't feel like Zion, so you're not there. Like if I'm them, I have already traded Zion Williams. I have said, hey, listen, whatever you want for him. If the Atlanta Hawks want him and they can give me Trae Young, give me Trae Young. If you want Ja Morant, I'll take Ja Morant, his Glock, and I'll give him my whole arsenal. Like you can have whatever he wants. We can go to the Admiral later today and we can go to the strip club and it's on me. Like, I'm cool with that. I have no issue with it. But I think at the end of the day, you have to look at it and go, with all those outside issues, with Trae Young talking shit on the field and not really being able to back it up all the time, that's cool. But then you look at guys like Ja who are doing what Ja's doing. All that shit is upsetting. And obviously there's levels to the Trae Young and Ja Morant thing, but I think it's all the same thing at the end of the day. It's all somebody has baggage. But Zion's baggage is the weakest baggage to me. Like, bro, that is mentally you are weak. And I don't like saying that. I'm not saying it's about his mental health or anything like that, but your work ethic, and Gonzo talks about it all the time. Gonzo, I'm not airing out your stuff, but you have your health stuff going on. And my man Gonzo is doing 4 shows a day just because he loves the shit. Like, if you love basketball, bro, then you'd be out there or you'd be trying to get out there. You just tell your trainers no. In the Western Conference Finals, Rob Scott?
Yeah, I'm about to say, my boy Gonzo out here running production, being the host and cameraman. That's what you call work.
And he adds fireballs. Add a motherfucking fireball.
What I was going to say with Zion, it goes back to what I was saying with focus, because like even with Ja Morant, Trae Young, yeah, they have their off the court issues, but they still stay focused. When they're on the court, they're focused about basketball. They're there to help their team. They're there to help their team. Zion isn't there at all.
Yeah, he's too busy.
I really thought he would be traded
with porn stars.
I really thought he was going to get traded before the draft. I really did. I thought
I
New
did
Orleans was
too
going to
because
move on
I
from
think
him.
there were inklings that they were saying that like Brandon Ingram don't really rock with bro.
I wouldn't either. Brandon Ingram's an old mind, an
Because
old.
I would have been pissed too because it's like okay we saw you when you were here and ladies and gentlemen when we're talking about Zion we are not in no way diminishing his skill. The man is skilled at what he does because when he was with the Pelicans when he showed up to work at one point in time they were actually like in the top 3 top 4 in the Western Conference. Then he gets hurt. You already don't have Brandon Ingram there to like towards the end of the season. And now you go from being a top seed to fighting just to even sniff the play in. And like that's what's disappointing. Like a lot of I had a lot, me talking to guys at the barber shop, me talking to the circle of people who I know love NBA basketball. There were a lot of people at that point in time screaming, "Hey Zion, hey, New Orleans might make the playoff. New Orleans can win. Ain't nobody, there's nobody can stop Zion," and that's what's frustrating. When you have, that's like us never getting to see Shaq at his full potential, man. Think about that. Think about if we only got LSU Shaq in the first couple of years in Orlando. That is frustrating. That we wouldn't have never got a chance to see the Shaq and Kobe dynamic, or see the Shaq and Wade dynamic, or hell, even the Shaq and Nash dynamic. So it's just really frustrating when you see these players with this enormous talent but yet they have the lack of commitment and discipline to stay on the court.
Not most definitely. I think that Shaq one. I think that Shaq one speaks volumes because that's really how I looked at Zion. I never looked at Zion as the next Michael Jordan or the next Kobe Bryant. I looked at him as the next potentially Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, because of his dominance.
Right, because of
I
how
kind of looked
dominant.
at him. I kind of looked at him like Charles Barkley in a way too, because
Yeah.
Barkley kind of came in the league like that, and then but Barkley got himself in better shape.
Right. Barkley weird though. He
But
carries his own.
Barkley also had. Oh yeah, you saw that.
I did see that. I didn't. I said,
Hey, hey. Now look, we could talk about this because y'all white, I'm black. Well, Chris is Hispanic, but
Gonzo
is
white.
that
I don't
is
want to hear
that
none
is
of
that
this.
true? White people don't use washcloths.
What you mean?
You just put soap to body.
Nah, that's weird. You're weird. You put your soap on your balls. You a weird motherfucker. Like maybe I can't speak. I can't speak for everybody. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what my mama do. I don't know what my sisters do because I ain't in the shower with them. Pause. But like I think like you a weird motherfucker if you put soap on your balls and then rub your face with it the very next day. Like that's a weird action. You know what I mean? Like I will say this. I have had 2 soap bars, right? And I'd be like one for my body and one for my face because I couldn't afford new cloths. I'm on my cloths. I had a fucked up dryer for a little bit, fucked up my cloths. So I had 2 soaps, one for your face and one for the rest. Because fuck, I look like rubbing my face with. Never mind, I ain't gonna get into it.
My balls. I'm sorry. I just threw us off with that one.
No, I mean it's a reasonable question. I like it. What makes ASAP so special?
You say Zion's a big Kyrie.
Frankie.
No, but you know what? You know what's wrong about that? You know what's
Frankie is
wrong about
wild.
that? Because I love Frankie. Frankie knows he's my dog. I'm excited about everything New York's doing, everything the Lakers are doing for my guy Frankie. But I will say this where I disagree. When Kyrie was locked in, he was there. He was available. You never had any issues from him. Hey,
Yeah,
Bron looked at that man with a 3-1, down 3-1. Looked at a 73-win team, looked at Kyrie and said, hey, little bro, watch this. And they locked the fuck in, and they beat one of the greatest teams ever assembled. Like, being real. Zion doesn't
the difference between Kyrie and Zion to me is Kyrie started his stuff after he got a championship.
Exactly.
Zion's doing this when he hasn't accomplished anything.
And that was my point earlier. Like, bro, who are you? Like, you're out here talking on these post games. He even changes the way he speaks now. Like he talks different. He's got a vibe to him that like he's got this ego and you just feel it. I'm like, bro, I ain't seen you do shit but sit courtside for the last 4 years. What are you talking about, bro?
We got a lot of
Oh,
soap.
yeah.
We got a lot of soap talk in the comments now.
Hey, I want some
Yeah,
soap and fireballs in the comment.
Hey, I was watching the Mason Cameron show. They said Charles Barkley, the soap plug, and then he was telling the story about how Charles Barkley said he bring his own soap because the soap at the hotel is too small because it almost went up somewhere and didn't come down. And he was talking about some man, there's bubbles on the seat.
Hey, Gonzo, Fever. I'm about to dip out. We got 37 seconds left. Fever, we're down 20. It's 76 to 74 right now.
Damn, they came back.
Came back. They're a good team, bro. Man. Let them get.
I think next year is going to be the year where they really make a big jump.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Fever gonna get Angel Reese, and then they're gonna pair her up with Boston, and then it's
They
cracking.
got a young team.
I definitely think. I mean, Angel fits a lot with Boston. I think that would be great. The one that scares me though is right now the way it looks. I don't know if they have rights to their pick, but the worst record in the league is the Phoenix Mercury. And if they have the rights to their 2024 first, which I don't know if they do, I've been trying to figure that out. But if they do,
they're gonna get Caitlin.
They're gonna get
I've been trying to get this stream of the Fever game to work. I ain't been able to get it to work.
If the Mercury get the first pick, and you telling me that they can go
Diana
get
Taurasi, DG,
they can go get Caitlin Clark, if Diana Taurasi, and Brittany Grant. Oh my God,
crazy, bro.
Crazy.
I don't know if they have that pick. I feel like they don't. Something's telling me they don't. I think it was the Diamond to Shields deal. Something happened to where they don't have that pick. But they might. I might be wrong.
And the Fever started three rookies last year, and then now you got a couple rookies starting this year as well. So that's why I think next year you're going to start seeing them with a big jump because the players getting that experience. And Boston is a beast.
You think Diana Taurasi will retire next year?
I think if Caitlin Clark joins, all right. So if they do have that pick, I haven't figured it out yet. I'm gonna have to. There's got to be a website for this, bro. Like it's fucked up that I got to figure it out all on my own. But I think if Caitlin Clark is there, I think you would kind of see a Sue Bird, Brianna Stewart type thing, where kind of like mentor you for a couple years and then go on her way. But if they don't, I could see DT retiring at the end of the year. But with that being said, fellas, I'll be back in like 20 minutes. I gotta go do something.
You might be gone, bro, because I gotta get back to work.
Oh, well, if y'all are gone, I love you, and I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, Mike. he said, I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Rob Scott said, I gotta get back to work, man.
I got stuff going on, man. And I gotta get up from here because I'm tired. This rain ain't doing nothing but making me more tired.
Oh, it raining there?
Yes, sir.
It isn't raining here yet. I would say if it's raining there, it's probably heading our way.
Yeah, this rain has been crazy, dude. Like with the streets flooded and everything. I think my wife was mentioning earlier that they said somewhere on the weather index that at one point in time we were way under, the rain that we were supposed to get, and just within the past couple of the weeks, now we're over the rain we were supposed to get for the year. Here's the problem. It flooded real bad in Chicago, like real bad.
Yeah, I know Mike Hughes had problems with his basement flooding.
Yeah.
But here's the problem with the WNBA, Rob. Like the Fever game, I've been trying to get it to watch it. Only way I could finally watch it is watching it on Facebook Live. They got to do better about the games being on TV and easier access. So if you want the game to really start to grow,
they do. I mean, that's the only way you're gonna grow the game is by making it, accommodating people where they can get to the game easily. Now, especially with all the streaming platforms that was out, you would think they'll be able to do that with no problem. I mean,
they have the WNBA League Pass thing like the NBA does, but I mean, how many people are going to pay for that if they haven't seen the product before? I mean, a lot of people want to see the product, and if they get fans of it, they go, okay, I'm going to buy this League Pass, so then I can watch every game.
See, the NBA selfish. If I was the NBA, I would include the WNBA package as part of the NBA package.
Yeah, that's a
Need
good idea.
to
That's a good idea.
need to work together, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just like me purchasing WWE package, and now I gotta also purchase an NXT package. You know?
Yeah, like you got the WWE network, but if you want to watch NXT, you got to purchase a whole nother network.
Yeah, you gotta purchase the NXT network. Come on.
That's what we need to start doing here on ASAP. Instead of the ASAP app, now you got to get an app for each show. That'd be what it would be like.
Nah, we'll give them the censor version on ASAP. If you want to hear how we really talk, get that ASAP Plus.
Damien said it says NBA is sexist in his opinion. I'm not gonna go that far. I just don't think
I think the NBA is just
they
too.
just care about the NBA because they're doing
Yeah,
and the reason I'm not going to say they're sexist because they're doing the same thing with the big three with Ice Cube. Uh,
yeah,
we're telling players that they can't telling people not to mention big three on the air and stuff like that. So they
yeah,
just all they're greedy. Like Rob said, they just care about themselves. They don't care about basically really maybe growing basketball as a whole. They just care about growing the NBA.
yeah. I mean, that was a whole global initiative. I mean, it sounds good on paper when you're talking about, the different avenues that the NBA has opened up, but them going global was about a check. Don't get it confused. Bringing more eyes to the NBA just brings more, sponsorships, and it brings more TV deals,
Bigger
bigger
TV
TV
deals.
deals.
Well,
That's
speaking of
all that
going
does.
global, speaking of going global, before you got to go get off here, NFL doing games in a game in Germany this year for the first time, and the Colts and
Yeah.
Patriots game sold out in like real quick. They said in an instant. I know
Oh,
Frankie had
people,
mentioned it earlier in the comments as well, but
thank you.
I know Jim Irsay was on Pat McAfee the other day, and he said he thinks within the next uh, 15 to 20 years that you could see maybe being like a division over in Europe and where they'd play games there. And then they'd also, the teams from there would also come here and play as well. I think that would be pretty cool to see the NFL kind of grow globally like that.
Yeah, maybe they do a World Cup in football. You know what I mean? I think personally, it does nothing but help the NFL. I mean, if you look at it from this standpoint of the NFL is still the most popular sport in America to me. I feel like
It is.
people are dying for American football. Let me say that, and I think it was a great idea going to London. I mean, I know people who personally travel with the NFL to London to go watch the games out there. I just hope that I'm actually glad though. You give them the Colts versus Patriots, even though of course it's not Tom Brady and Peyton Manning back there. You still have two teams with huge legacies that have a great disdain for each other. You know what I mean? And I think it's going to be some great football. Um, I'm happy for the NFL. I'm actually excited for its return. Um, I know we get like the USFL, and we get XFL and everything. It's just nothing like the National Football League.
No, no, I agree. And I think a lot of it is because of every game is so important. Because there's
Yes,
only
yes,
17 of them. It's not like NBA where you have 82. Baseball you have 160 something. So many games where the regular season kind of gets watered down. Where in the NFL, every game means something. So I think that's why more. I think that's why people get a little bit more invested in it because you feel like every game. Hey, if we lose this game, this affects our season. Like the Reds. Reds are in first place now. I love watching, but they lose a game. They lost the game last week, and I'm like, well, it's not even All Star break yet. So, and
right.
you got 162 games. You know you're not going to win all of them.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
in the
true.
NFL, there's actually a chance a team could go undefeated. You know, what I mean, we've seen it. We've seen team go undefeated. You don't see that. You're not going to see that in other sports because there's so many games. You're going to lose a game.
Yeah, and even with the NFL, the competition is always so tough. Like even for that Patriots team that did go undefeated for the regular season, I think Dan Marino's Dolphins either they went undefeated or lost only one game. But you see, none of those big time seasons resulted in the championship. That shows you how tough the NFL is, especially when we get
Yeah,
in the
it's only happened
playoffs.
once.
Yeah,
It's only
it's
happened once that a team
ridiculous.
went undefeated and won the Super Bowl. And how many years
Yeah,
ago was that?
that was a long time ago.
But real quick, Aaliyah Boston hits a shot as time expires to force overtime.
Okay. Hey, Boston is a dog.
Yeah,
I mean that, ladies and gentlemen, in the most complimentary way. Before y'all getting in y'all feelings, you know about this Me Too stuff out here. When I say she a dog, I'm saying she a great player.
go try to they're gonna try to cancel Rob Scott.
Hey, they gonna try to cancel me, Conzo. I ain't even did nothing. You know what I'm saying? But no, back to the NFL though, and now them expanding to Germany. Now you start to think, maybe they get to expand in like France or Paris or something like that. I mean, I like where
Yeah,
this is going. And let's be honest, the European fans are awesome. I mean, we see it in
oh yeah,
wrestling, but definitely in football, man. Like they are into it. They show great fanmanship. The arenas are loud. Uh, you know, everybody's drinking their beer and got their hot dogs. Watching the game the way it's supposed to be played, man, and the way it's supposed to be watched, I should say. And I'm just excited for NFL football. I know there's been a lot of controversy with NFL throughout the past couple of years with the Kaepernick thing and the whole racial thing going on. But let's when you think about just pure football, how can you not love the NFL?
oh yeah, I agree. Uh, and like the stuff you mentioned with Kaepernick and racial stuff and all that. I know people get on the NFL about that, and you should because hey, NFL they do a lot of good things, but they do things that are wrong as well. But
Yeah,
that's with any business when you got billions of dollars going through. I mean, NBA has their issues, you know. What I mean, every league
they
has
do.
their issues,
hmm
but yeah,
They do. And I
I like
try,
watching.
I know at one point in time, like people in my community were saying that they were going to boycott the NFL. I'm like, you know how hard that's going to do? Like who boycotting the NFL on a Sunday when you, what? Come on now.
Dude,
I'm sitting with
I
my
remember
FanDuel on my lap.
remember that a lot of my friends and a lot of people like on social media on my timeline and stuff would be saying they're done watching NFL, then they're never gonna watch it again. And the next week they'd be complaining about a call or a game or something. I'm like, I thought you wouldn't go watch NFL no more.
I think when I said I was going to boycott the NFL, I'll not watch one game. And I was watching the game the same day. I'm like, well, you know what? Tom Brady is playing today. I can't miss that.
Well, it's
Hey,
like people say they're gonna boycott ESPN, except when there's live games on. It's like, well, that's not a boycott. Then.
that's not a boycott. That's just you picking and choosing when you're gonna watch. That's all. Hey, you know what? And hopefully we can get those problems rectified. We can see more black coaches in the NFL one day. But for right now, I'm just gonna enjoy it for what it is and enjoy the football that's being displayed. Because I'm excited, Gonzo. Like I
Yeah.
really am. Like I
Oh,
am
I'm
so
excited,
excited to
man.
see this Bears team. I'm excited to see the Ravens and what they're gonna do in this Odell Beckham Jr. and Lamar Jackson dynamic. I am, just a couple of teams. I want to see what the Texans gonna do as they got the new head coach. We got a black guy in there. Let's see if the Texans can make a huge turnaround. I know he was a defensive guy, so everybody's been raving about how they think this Texas defense is gonna be. And of course, when you think about the NFC East, you know, Cowboys, the Giants, the Eagles who made it to the Super Bowl last year, you're definitely excited about that. And of course, you want to see what kind of magic Pat Mahomes is going to give you this year.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, the
I'm excited.
guy's just awesome.
I'm excited I'm excited for the Indianapolis Colts. I want to see what Anthony Richardson's going to look like. You
Oh,
know what I mean? I
yeah.
know he's a rookie. There's going to be struggles, but I want to see that. New York Jets. I want to see what they're going to look like.
Oh, the Jets, right? I want to see what this Aaron Rodgers thing gonna look like. Yes,
And they
sir.
just announced that the Jets are going to be on Hard Knocks. I think
Really,
the NFL's kind of forcing them to, but so I think that's going to be interesting. How's
really.
Aaron Rodgers going to be with all these Hard Knocks cameras around, and is that going to? I mean, you got a young team that everybody thought could have really been a lot better last year if they had a quarterback. Now you get a quarterback, and arguably one of the best quarterbacks that's played.
Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. I tell people all the time, look, say what you want about Aaron Rodgers. I know I have my questions about him too because sometimes when it comes to the big one, he don't show up. But you cannot deny his credentials.
One of the best throwers of the football that I've seen,
without a shot of a doubt, especially too in the pocket or on the run.
Yep.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers does it all, man. I mean, not to quote Stephen A. Smith, but it is very true. That's a bad man.
You got him there his first year. They're trying to build that continuity and all on the same page. Now you're going to have all these cameras on you and stuff. It's going to be interesting to see how this team responds.
And Aaron Rodgers, the New York fans ain't Green Bay fans. If you play bad, they're going to tell you about yourself. They're not going to just continue to cheer you because, we love our Packers.
I can't wait to air. I ain't gonna lie. I can't wait till Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays on the Pat McAfee show this year.
Hey, and I personally enjoyed
that media.
Oh, that New York media is tough.
You go on McAfee and say some stuff, and then it'll set everything off. It'll be entertaining. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely excited, man. Especially too to give us more to talk about. Because I know you guys got baseball, man, but I think that's probably why this year I've been watching the summer league so hard, so closely, and that's because I just need some type of sports in my life.
Like right now for the rest of the week, there is no baseball. There's no baseball until Friday because they're on the All-Star break.
Right, because they're on the All-Star break.
So really ain't hardly a whole lot of sports on. I've been watching some of the summer league. I didn't get to watch as much of it last night because I was doing airing that wrestling show and stuff. But then I watched a lot of the highlights of it. But before that, I've been watching the Pacers. Pacers have been looking good in the summer league. I'll tell you what, that Walker. I can't say. I don't know how to pronounce his first name, so I'll just say his last name, Walker. He's looking good. Was it Jakar or Jarvis or something like that?
I'm itching.
He's looking good. So it's gonna be fun. What do you think about the
summer league too? Because, man, I ain't watching nothing about the Bulls. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yep. I'm disappointed right now. Yeah, I'm just kind of disappointed right now. As a Bulls fan, I'm just disappointed in how our roster is made up. I don't see us particularly doing anything. I don't even see us making the playoffs. Now, if DeRozan can tap back into whatever magic he had when he first got here, maybe. But as of right now, I have zero faith in the Chicago Bulls. As you know who I'm riding with, and they re-signed my boy Draymond, and I know we're ready for one more championship before we break this
people
thing
better
up.
Not overlook. I wouldn't overlook the Warriors. I think a lot of I wouldn't overlook them. Because I had them winning it last year. I was with you. I picked them to win it, and then once they got put out, I went with Denver. But with the Warriors, why I say don't overlook them? I think a lot of last year was stemmed to a lot of that preseason stuff and the rift between Jordan Poole and Draymond. And I think you had some players kind of take sides, and you had some of the younger players that were with Poole, and then you had the veterans, they just didn't have that same chemistry as you usually see a Warriors team have.
Yeah, and I think now, you get rid of Poole, you send him to Washington, so now that distraction is gone. You now have the distraction gone of, is Draymond going to re-sign? He now has his money. He's $100 million man. He's happy. And I'm telling you, man, when you make somebody feel like they're worth something and you keep your word to somebody, they're going to run through a wall for you. And I'm pretty sure.
I think Chris Paul was a good pickup because I think he'll be able to help facilitate the offense, and it's not. It'll take a little bit. Can take some of the pressure off Curry.
Yeah, I keep telling people like, oh, so you're gonna play Chris Paul and Steph at the same time? I said, let's be honest. There's not really that many great point guards or great shooting guards in the league. He's gonna rarely go up at a team that got a dynamic 1 and 2. You know what I mean? Where you can get away with playing Steph Curry and Chris Paul in your backcourt, especially due to the fact too, you get to a half court game and Steph Curry, um, he gon' he gonna play off the ball anyway.
Yep. And if you bring Paul in off the bench some, and then now you got a guy that can facilitate and run the second team. That's not going to turn the ball over 7 out of 10 times like Jordan Poole was. So you have a guy you have a guy that can come in and run that second team if you do decide to bring Paul off the bench some. So I think it's going to be a good fit.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think this Warriors team is going to be kind of scary. I still think they do need a little bit more hype. And you never know. The season hasn't started yet. We haven't even got to the trade deadline. There's a chance that they could potentially bring in a big man to help out this roster. And if they get a big man, God have mercy on everybody in the league.
I still think they gave up on Wiseman too soon.
Yeah, no. I just think Wiseman. I think the pressure. I think Wiseman had a better. He needs something like Detroit. I don't think the Warriors should be your first stop because you not everybody can handle that championship aspiration on their first year in the league.
They definitely overdrafted him. They definitely overdrafted him, and that hurt him because of the expectations.
That's tough.
You get drafted that high, you don't get that time to develop. Or now with like Detroit and them, he'll get time to develop because they're such a young team. But when you're drafted that high and you're coming to a team that's a dynasty, you don't get that extra time to develop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I'm actually enjoying myself, man. But it's time I get back to work. We gave Mike 20 minutes. He ain't show back up.
Oh well, he won't be because the game is still going on, so it's going to be a while before he gets back. It's 25 seconds left in overtime because he was getting off to go to the post game press conference.
Who winning?
The Liberty are up 93-87 with 25 seconds left.
All right, and before I leave, guys, I just want to let y'all know, man, if y'all haven't checked it out, go check out my boy Gonzo, his wrestling show that he showed live last night. He had my boy Al Snow in there. It was a great crowd. Had some great matches. Had some great commentary. Y'all make sure y'all check that out on GSI on YouTube.
I appreciate that, Rob. Also, don't forget Rob's 2 cents, August 1st. Isn't that when
we back, baby? Back up? Yes, Lord.
And if I was right, it's going to be on the All Sports All Plays network as well.
Hopefully, if Jake wants to show it. I know I got my own StreamYard, but if I don't have to, I would love to not have to.
They need to put it on ASAP.
Hey, I'll tell you,
be another good show to add to all the shows we have on here.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun, baby. This show is gonna be fun, man. You know, I'm gonna break it down. And I'm gonna talk how I talk.
I know you do a lot of it by yourself. If you ever need a guest, just hit me up.
Oh, Gonzo, you know you on my guest list, right? You on my guest list, bro. Especially because I talk about it all.
We gotta get you back on the wrestling show. We gotta get you back on the wrestling show and talk some wrestling.
Hey, let me know when you need me there, and I'm there, brother.
All right, man. I appreciate you, Rob.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Take it easy, ASAP people. We out.
Like I said, we appreciate everybody watching today. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all ASAP Sports Network. Also at Gonzo Sports Room, and check out Rob's 2 cents. I know he's on social media as well. But we appreciate everybody joining us. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern with another episode. And I'll be live here in about 45 minutes with Easy Money, a sports betting show here on the ASAP Sports Network and Gonzo Sports Room. Hope everybody has a great day, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.